everyone, in this video we will cover the current affairs. I am Nuzhat Sana. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GK Today Academy app. You can attend the quizzes on this app for better practice, and after that you can also read the detailed explanation of the questions you have missed. For regular updates, please check our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. For hard copy books, you can visit our website gktbooks.com. Okay. Also, our latest initiative is UPSC Prelims Test Series for 2021 and 2022 in GK Today Academy app. So if you are appearing in UPSC Prelims, you may consider joining this. So now, without wasting any further time, let's get started. So today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 24th and 25th of June 2021. Starting with very first question, when is the World Sickle Cell Awareness Day observed every year? So every year this day is observed on 19th of June, and it aims to increase basically awareness on the disease and the challenges which are faced by the people who are affected by various type of diseases. And do you know what is sickle cell disease? Actually, it is caused as a result of these sickle shaped red blood cells which stick together and block the continuous flow of blood. And that's why the ability of oxygen to reach all parts of the body is reduced, and the patients who are affected by this type of disease experiences pain, anemia, various infections and other serious health complications. Apart from it, we celebrate our World Refugee Day on 20th of June, and this day is celebrated to respect and also to empathize with the refugees across the globe. So for this year, the theme was Together We Heal, Learn and Shine. Also recently on 21st of June, we celebrated International Yoga Day, and the theme for this year was Yoga for Well-being. Also an application was launched by the Ayush Ministry named as Namaste Yoga. Why? To introduce a series on common yoga protocol which is to be telecasted on DD India channel. Apart from these, on 19th of June we celebrate International Day for the Elimination of Sexual Violence in Conflict. So this day is celebrated to raise awareness about the inhuman issue and the fact that there is an urgent need to put an end to these conflict related sexual violence. Fine. Now you have to tell me, when do we celebrate International Day of Family Remittances? Please write in the comment section. Question number 2. Which country plays host to the BRICS Summit on Green Hydrogen Initiatives? So many a times I have already told you that from this year India has taken up the presidency of BRICS, and that's why whatever events would be held under BRICS, it would be presided by obviously India. Okay, so here correct answer is India. So this time NTPC Limited, which is India's state-owned power sector major, it is anchoring a 2-day summit on green hydrogen initiatives, and this event would involve participation from the BRICS nations. And which countries come under BRICS? It's Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. Please remember that South Africa is the latest country to join this organization because it has joined it in 2010. So actually this summit creates a platform to share green hydrogen initiatives by the nations across the globe, and also to present detailed roadmaps to take our green energy to the next level. So due to COVID pandemic, obviously this event is also proposed to be held in a virtual format. Now few more events have been organized by BRICS these days. First of all, BRICS foreign ministers held virtual meeting in June month itself. Then first ever BRICS employment working group meeting was held, and it was also presided by our India. So this was the first time when BRICS has organized such type of event, and in this meeting various issues were discussed like how to formalize our labor market or how to increase the role of women in the labor sector. Okay. Apart from it, recently 17th BIMSTEC ministerial meeting was held, and it was chaired by Sri Lanka this time. Okay. So BIMSTEC include how many countries? It include 7 countries. Which are they? India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, then Bhutan and Bangladesh. These 5 are from South Asia. Then there is Thailand and Myanmar as well, which are from Southeast Asia. So if there is any organization which is frequently in news, you have to know who's the chairperson or where does its headquarters lie. These are the static things which come out from your current affairs. Fine. Please write in the comment section where does the headquarters of these organizations lie. Question number 3. As per WHO, which country has recently declared an end to the Ebola outbreak? So as per the World Health Organization, Guinea has declared an end to this Ebola outbreak. Actually, this deadly viral disease has emerged in the African nation in the starting of this year, nearly in Feb, and after which it killed 12 people. And before this outbreak, the disease had also spread in the African nations from the year 2014 to 2016, and at that time there was a death of nearly 11,000 people. But now Guinea has declared an end to this disease. Apart from it, there was one more disease which was in news, and we have already covered it in the previous lectures. So it is African swine fever, and it was spread in the state of Meghalaya. Earlier it had also struck Mizoram. So it's the disease in pigs, due to which 300 pigs were already dead in the state of Meghalaya. So first of all, this disease was detected in Africa, but later on it spread to other countries as well. So recently, Philippines government has placed the country under a state of calamity for a year to address the eradication of African swine fever. Also, few days back we have talked about the black fungus, which was declared as the notified disease in which state? In Haryana. What do you understand by the notified disease? It means that government authorities have to be informed about each and every case of black fungus disease there at Haryana. Fine. Can you tell me what is the scientific name of black fungus? Please write in the comment section. And the capital of Guinea is Conakry. Question number 4. Which crop has been identified as an alternate feedstock source for ethanol production in India? So recently ICAR, that is Indian Council of Agricultural Research, CTCRI means Central Tuber Crops Research Institute, it has found cassava, also called as tapioca, as a alternate, or you can say promising raw material for bioethanol production. So currently we are using the sugar cane for its production, but as a biofuel crop, cassava has several advantages compared to the sugar cane, because it has high content of starch and it has also the ability to grow under low management conditions. So this will help India in its EBP program, which is called Ethanol Blending Petrol Program, target of 2025. So we have seen before that India has already said that 20% of ethanol would be mixed in petrol by the year 2030, but recently it has preponed this target and now it is saying that we will achieve it by 2025. And this is known as adoption of E20 fuels. Means there would be a blend of 20% ethanol and gasoline. Why? To decrease the vehicle pollution as well as country's oil import bill. Now in the previous lecture we have talked about an engine which can be used with 100% crude oil or 100 per ethanol. So what was this engine called? It was flex fuel engine. Recently, Union Ministry for Road Transport and Highways has announced that the ministry will make the engines which would be mandatory for all the automobile industries. So in this type of engines, there will be choice for people that either they can use 100% of crude oil or just 100 per ethanol. One very basic chemistry question. Can you tell me what is the formula for ethanol? Do write in the comment section if you know. Question number 5. Great Barrier Reef, which was seen in the news recently, is a famous coral reef situated in which country? Actually, these reefs lies at 2,300 kilometers off from Australia's northeast coast. Okay, and this Great Barrier Reef is important because gained World Heritage ranking in 1981 due to its scientific and intrinsic importance. So it belonged to Australia. And recently UNESCO has said that the Great Barrier Reef should be put in a list of World Heritage Sites that are in danger. Why? Because of the damage it has been suffering these years, and several bleaching events on these reefs have caused significant loss of coral in the past 5 years. So that's why UNESCO has said to put these reefs in danger list. Now Australia was also in news because recently it has cancelled the deals on China's Belt and Road Initiative. So actually in 2018 as well as in 2019, two agreements were signed between China and Australia to promote the infrastructure, but now both of these deals have been cancelled because Australian government has introduced the Australian Foreign Relations Act. So under this act, it allows the Australian government to cancel any of the agreements signed between foreign country and the government of Australia. Also, Australia was in news due to a French naval exercise which is La Pérouse. So actually it is the naval exercise of France which has been joined by few other countries like Japan, India, then Australia, USA and obviously France itself. Question number 6. Which country recently tested an airborne high power laser that can shoot down drones? So this laser has been developed by Israel and recently it has been successfully tested. So the laser was mounted on a civilian plane and after it successfully shot down several drones by this over the Mediterranean Sea. So as we know that Israel has already a sophisticated air defense system which had nearly 90% interception rate against thousands of rockets which were fired from Gaza during the recent 11-day war. Apart from it, new Prime Minister of Israel is Naftali Bennett and also Ministry of Energy of Israel has announced a national plan to decrease 80% of greenhouse gas emissions by which year 2050. Also, India and Israel have signed a 3-year programs for cooperation in agriculture and one missile was in news which was from Israel called Python 5. So it has been built by Israeli defense system and this one is currently the most capable air-to-air missile in the storage of Israel. Question number 7. Yellow Gold 48 which was launched recently is the first ever commercial variety of which crop? So this is the variety of watermelon and the German agrochemical major Bayer has launched this first ever yellow watermelon variety and named it as Yellow Gold 48 under the Seminis brand in India. So this yellow watermelon variety has been commercially now introduced in India after 2 years of local trials and with this new variety, watermelon growers can benefit from better yield potential, better disease and pest tolerance and higher returns as well. So this can be cultivated from October to February. Now few days back we have seen that India's agricultural exports have grown by 17.34% for the financial year 2022-21. Also India's first agricultural export facilitation center would be set up at Pune. So now the farmers who grow in India but want to sell their products to the other countries, they can do so very easily with the help of these centers. And also center has announced a hike in minimum support price for Kharif crops. So all these news have already been covered in the previous lectures. If you want to go into more depth, please refer to them. Talking about crops, we know that there are 3 types of crops, Rabi, Kharif and Zaid. Rabi crops are also known as spring crops, then Kharif are called monsoon crops and Zaid is the short season between your Rabi and Kharif. Let's see some of the examples. For Rabi crops, examples are wheat, barley, mustard, gram, peas and etc. Then for Kharif, examples are rice, maize, soybean, then groundnut, cotton, moong. And talking about Zaid crops, it's very easy to remember. The examples are pumpkin, cucumber, watermelon, etc. Question number 8. As per the proposed amendments to consumer protection e-commerce rules, an e-commerce entity should be registered with which body? So recently Union Government has released the draft of the proposed amendments to the Consumer Protection Rules 2020 and according to these proposed rules, the e-commerce platforms will need to appoint a Chief Compliance Officer, then a Nodal Officer and a resident grievance officer. Also, every e-commerce entity should be registered with DPIIT, means Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. Also, few days back, Union Ministry for Commerce and Industry has launched a scheme called as Startup India Seed Fund Scheme. Why? To provide the financial support to all the startups for their development, product trials, and to ease their market entries. So overall, this will support the transforming ideas and try to help them in any way. Talking about SEBI, recently it has said that India should separate the roles of chairperson and MD, and there should be a clear differentiation between their roles. And also SEBI has fined the Reliance Industries Limited. Why? Because various frauds were taking place there, like manipulative trade. So that's why SEBI has fined the Reliance Industries Limited. Can you tell me who's the current chairperson of SEBI? Please let me know in the comment section. Question number 9. Which organization has recently developed the Canopy Severance System, that is CSS, for indigenous aircraft in India? So recently this system has been developed by Defense Research and Development Organization, that is DRDO, for the indigenous aircraft including LCA Tejas, then there is HJT-36 and HTT-40. So actually this is an escape path clearance system for the pilots in case of emergency. So this technology was developed by the Pune-based DRDO facilities ARDE and HEMRL. Please write the full form of these acronyms. And recently an event was also held in which this special technology was transferred. Now few days back, DRDO has also developed DIPCOVAN. What is it? It is a COVID-19 antibody detection kit which can be used in this pandemic. And also, just 2-3 questions back, we have talked about Python 5. It was the Israeli missile. And few weeks back, DRDO has fired a series of missile trials of Python 5. Okay. And also it has developed single crystal blade technology. What is this? So actually what happened is helicopters need low and compact engines to operate in the extreme conditions. So for this purpose these blades are extremely essential. So earlier what happened was very few countries have this technology, like UK, USA, Russia and France. Only 4 countries have this technology. But now India has also this technology. Coming to the last question, Union Power Ministry extended the waiver on transmission charges for renewable energy projects until which year? So recently the Union Ministry of Power has extended this waiver of ISTS charges on transmission of electricity from solar and wind sources of projects until 2025, or you can say 30th of June 2025. So this waiver also includes battery storage, then pump hydro projects, and obviously solar and wind. So this is seen as a major relief to the renewable energy project developers. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video here and try to solve each of these questions. And at the end of the lecture, do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So read each question carefully and please do not cheat. Be honest with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nuzhat Sana signing off.